Hi, I was really excited to do this project because I love visualizing um, how the brain works when it's thinking about reading. And I've used the reading brain, the picture of the reading brain that shows all the different parts of your brain that's at work, um, just to decode words and to make meaning. And the kids love that. So, the reading comprehension model, um, it is inclusive of all those pieces of reading that we really need and are happening at the same time simultaneously and in conjunction with each other. And it shows how, if one of those little pieces is missing, um, how hard it is to diagnose what the reading issue is, or how great it is when you do diagnose and figure out what piece you can fill in. So I had fun making this, and I was able to work in Bruce Springsteen to another one of my courses, and that makes me incredibly happy. So, for reading comprehension, I have that brain hard at work reading, and then I have the three pathways of reading, which so the automatic word recognition, I have the little boy reading directly out of the book, and I love that the dog is there. So for fluency, I put the boss and his "Blinded by the Light" lyrics, because when you can read "Madman Drummers, Bummers in the Inn in the Summer" with a teenage diplomat really well, not just like I just did, you've got your fluency. I used Ralphie to explain decoding with his little orphan Annie decoder ring, hopefully with a lack of depression. And I have the parts of the phonological awareness and the print concepts. So I did the listening, rhyming, syllables, segmentation, blending, alliteration for that phonemic awareness, where we could do rhyme and onset. These are a little older for the older kids that I'm working with, 3 through 5. I mean, third grade through fifth grade. And then, of course, the classic ABC print recognition that we have in all our classrooms. And then when I went back to oral language and comprehension, I kind of wished I could figure out, but I'm not very smart, to put the dad talking to the little baby, having conversation and teaching that child how to converse, about a basketball game, but the baby is picking up the patterning of language, and it's just so powerful. But I decided instead, when we were thinking about oral language, the oral language tradition, and how our comprehension started with the oral tradition. And so again, I have the parents reading to a young child for background knowledge, and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious for that vocabulary, because we just need to push vocabulary. And then again, for the text and sentence structure, I did a diagram sentence, because of all the pieces that go in for students to understand how nouns and verbs and adverbs work. And I have to say, I love doing Mad Libs with my kids, because you can just see the power of how words can be placed in and out. And then for that strategic knowledge, this is the part where you just that motivation and the meaningfulness to kids, that to get them to want to read or understand the importance of what reading is. So I'm not sure that reading is food for the brain was the best way of presenting it, but I think it is. And those strategies that go into reading are part of the reading process too. Making it comfortable, finding a quiet place, being in a space where you can read. And then I love, one of my teachers has always said, metacognition is reading. And it really is. We're thinking when we're in there, that text and thinking are all connected together. So knowing those strategies for reading and the is really metacognitive. And so I put that first next to the specific purposes for reading. And in that case, I kind of picked genres, even though I know that those are tied with the skimming and the scanning and the highlighting and the specific strategies that you can use. And then overall, when we talked about the general purpose for reading, I think that that is probably the most important part of these three pathways, is making sure that kids understand that the purpose of reading isn't just you have to read a biography, you have to be able to sound this out, but it's for all of life. It's that, where I would go back to the food for brain, and then giving them um, the sense of their interaction with books and how important that is, and being in relation with that student to help them to better understand that and just appreciate their relationship with their books. Um, so I picked The Simpsons because they're my daughter's favorite. Thank you. Don't know how to turn it off.